Welcome to TPM Vid's Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. You can also find us on all your favorite social media platforms. Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios has officially welcomed the Muppets, and the entire ride is now packed with some of the best hidden secrets, recycled props, and tributes we've ever seen in a Disney attraction. Some are super easy to spot, some are only visible for a split second, and others are actual pieces of Muppet history. So today we're gonna go over everything and count down the top 10 hidden secrets and Easter eggs in Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. Number 10. Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith entertained guests for 27 years, but now that the Muppets have moved in, Imagineers included a couple Easter eggs that pay tribute to the previous version of the ride. Since they use a similar premise of getting us to the big concert with backstage passes, some of Electric Mayhem's dialogue might sound familiar, like when Lip says,
"You know how we feel about a band. All right, how about backstage passes for everyone?"
In the old Aerosmith pre-show, Joe Perry said the exact same line.
Come on, you know how we feel about our fans. Yeah, that's right.
Now, a little earlier in the pre-show, Joe Perry mentions his black Les Paul.
Chris, can you grab my black Les Paul?
That black Les Paul he's talking about used to be right here. But fun fact, when the ride first opened, a cast member on the other side of the glass used to actually grab the guitar for him.
Hey, wait a minute. What? We can't leave these people here like this.
We can't?
No!
So hanging on the wall behind Scooter is the exact same black Les Paul that was used in the Aerosmith pre-show. Now this next tribute can only be seen through the single rider queue, but it's a really fun one. So along the back wall of the alley, you'll find this flyer for Angus McGonagall. He was really only in one episode of The Muppet Show where he gargled Gershwin songs with Mark Hamill. Well, on the flyer it says more than just gargles, he also marbles. You can see he's the creator of the finest marble doors, and of course, he means a door covered in glass marbles, which references those marble doors that used to be at the artist entrance. I can just hear the sound of people brushing their hand against them. These doors were removed during the ride's transformation, but some of the marbles actually survived. Again, this is only visible through the single rider queue, but the old marbles can be found in a glass jar on the backside of Gonzo's display. It forever acts as a reminder of the finest marble doors. Number 9. Rock and Roller Coaster now features many celebrity cameos, like John Stamos, along with Muppet versions of Lincoln and the Big Thunder Mountain Goat, which is pretty iconic.
You get it, that dude doesn't have a pass.
You kidding me? A dude from all presidents. Kind of a big deal.
Our poor father.
Most of the celebrities can be seen in the 30-minute live stream as you enter G-Force Records, but some are also in the video at the end of the ride with Electric Mayhem's big performance. There are many familiar faces, but one surprise celebrity that's very familiar to Rock and Roller Coaster fans is Ileana Douglas. She played Aerosmith's manager and has returned as the same character in a live stream segment with Kermit. What's so great is that she actually repeats a couple of her iconic Aerosmith lines.
This happened to me once before, and you know what? I just put everybody in a really fast car.
But I got you a really fast car.
Yeah, you know, make it a stretch.
Make it a stretch.
Okay?
Make it a stretch.
In fact, make it a super stretch.
In fact, make it a super stretch.
Hearing her say the same lines more than 25 years later is such a mind trip. Disney definitely knew what would get us fans excited, and I mean, for me, it's this.
Hey Sal, who represents Electric Mayhem? No one. That tracks.
Now, the Muppet pre-show does have one other tribute to another one of her iconic lines. On Scooter's desk, you'll find a mug that says, "Hey, hey, hey, #1 studio manager." This obviously references the manager's entrance.
What's a hey?
Another actor who has a live feed segment with Kermit is Ken Marino. You might recognize him as the audio engineer in the Aerosmith pre-show, although he never had any dialogue.
Except me, of course, because I'm sort of the golden boy around here, but it would be a disaster for everybody else involved.
When you're exiting the pre-show room, Imagineers also included another tribute to Ken, where he's honored with the Outstanding Lifetime Achievement Award as a G-Force legend. I mean, he's truly a legend in my eyes, and I'm so glad to see that both Ken and Ileana's legacy still lives on here at G-Force Records.
Okay, I'll make it happen.
Number 8. Not much has changed in the G-Force Records foyer, but the items in the display cases were swapped for some very unique and important Muppet items. In 2025, the Jim Henson Company gave Kermit's original banjo from the Muppet movie to the Walt Disney Archives. What's here at Hollywood Studios is just a replica, but every single detail was recreated for this display to look exactly like it did when Kermit sang Rainbow Connection. Then the 4 instruments in the middle are actual instruments that were used by the Electric Mayhem themselves. Floyd and Janice's guitars are originals from the Muppet Show, and then the saxophone and trumpet are authentic replicas. In the context of G-Force Records, the display was curated by Yolanda the Rat, so showcasing these items adds just that much more authenticity to the story of Rock and Roller Coaster. Number 7. As you walk through the G-Force Records lobby, the walls are filled with tons of Muppet photos and some old album covers. Imagineers came up with some pretty clever stuff, like the Great Gonzo public domain songs played on the Alto recorder. It features hits like Baba Black Sheep and Hot Cross Buns. There's a lot more to see on the walls as you approach the pre-show room, but towards the end of the hall, there's an album cover for Here Come the Muppets. Sometimes it's hard to see, especially in a room full of people, but Here Come the Muppets was a stage show that opened in 1990 at the Animation Courtyard Theater at what was then Disney MGM Studios. The show marked the debut of many Muppet walk-around characters at the Disney theme parks, which included Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. Just like a typical episode of The Muppet Show, all the characters performed classic musical numbers, which culminated with the Muppets singing Shout. I wonder if they ever considered this song for the ride. Number 6. After entertaining guests for almost 35 years, Muppet Vision 3D officially closed its doors in June of 2025. With the timing of the reimagining of Rock and Roller Coaster, this was the perfect opportunity to recycle some of the props from the now-defunct attraction. We'll start off just as you're entering G-Force Records. While you're waiting in the lobby, you might just hear a recycled piece of dialogue from Sweetums. Of course, when it came over the speaker, I wasn't recording, but you'll be listening for this. After all these years, it turns out Sweetums is still searching for Bean Bunny. Little does he know though, Bean is already at Electric Mayhem's big concert. Then as soon as you enter the alley, the shipping crate in front of the ride-out booth used to be in the Muppet Vision pre-show room. It was right in the center by some of the other props that also made their way into Rock and Roller Coaster. In the display paying tribute to Gonzo the Great, the red crate, the blue banner, and the yellow biplane were all recycled props from Muppet Vision 3D. Then the cannon the penguins used to shoot at the Swedish chef also made it into the display, since it fits right in with Gonzo's shenanigans as a daredevil. On the right side of the launch, you'll also find Statler and Waldorf's chairs along with more recycled shipping crates. And speaking of Statler and Waldorf, they both make an appearance at the end of the ride, and I am happy to report that these two animatronics are the very same animatronics that used to be in Muppet Vision 3D. They may not have their 3D glasses on, but they're still bolted down, don't you worry.
Looks like these folks might be stuck here for a moment.
They'll be fine. We've been bolted to the floor for decades.
Number 5. So we've discussed all the recycled items from Muppet Vision 3D, but there are also many tributes to the now-defunct attraction. We'll start off in the pre-show, where Kermit says,
You got a minute and a half.
This, of course, pays tribute to this line in Muppet Vision 3D.
Yes, it's a glorious 3-hour finale. You got a minute and a half.
Now, we previously learned that Sweetums is still in search of Bean Bunny, so when you're in the alley, look out for this Lost Bunny poster. There are a few of them, but again, it references Sweetums' line from Muppet Vision. I also love that it says to contact Sweetums at the stage door or just yell real loud. I mean, right in line with what you'd expect from Sweetums.
Look at all these duck boys.
Now, back when I was young, one of the very first hidden secrets I discovered at the parks was the hidden key under the mat in the Muppet Vision lobby. Every time I walked in, I always made a point to check and see if the key was still there. Well, because this detail was so widely enjoyed by many fans, Imagineers included a tribute to the key under the mat here at Rock 'n' Roller Coaster. It's really only visible from the single rider queue, but on this door, you see it says, at the concert, keys under the mat. When you look down, there are in fact keys under the mat, only this time they are piano keys. Then once you're on the ride, you're gonna pass by an orange sign that says obligatory Easter egg. Since you pass by so quick, it's kinda hard to make it out, but this sign just happens to feature the silhouette of Waldo.
I'm Waldo, the spirit of 3D.
Waldo was actually the very first computer-generated Muppet character, so aside from his role in Muppet Vision, he does mark an important moment in Muppet history. Finally, in Rock Around the Shop, the shelves are filled with tons of props, but right up here is my favorite tribute to Muppet Vision 3D. It's such an easy one to glance over, but another fun detail is that Imagineers use blue and red carrying cases to represent the traditional blue and red 3D glasses. A lot of thought went into this, and they even included Chuck's construction hat, which is such a great touch. During the pre-show for Muppet Vision, Chuck was one of the construction workers that was featured at the beginning of the video.
Chuck! Yo, Chuck! Hey, Chuck, come here, come here, come here. Here, boys. Chuck!
So Muppet Vision may be gone, but as you can see, it'll never be forgotten. Number 4. Pizza Rizzo became a pretty iconic part of Muppet Courtyard. I mean, who doesn't enjoy wrap pizza, right? Even though Pizza Rizzo now has a place in the Disney history books, Rock 'n' Roller Coaster has no shortage of tributes to the now-defunct Muppet restaurant. Pizza Rizzo pizza boxes can be found in the pre-show room, there's an open box over in Gonzo's display, and you can even find Pizza Rizzo flyers in the alley as well as a sticker on the hot dog cart. Then on the ride, it's hard to miss the giant Pizza Rizzo cutout, which plays off the design of the old neon sign above the restaurant. Now, Pizza Rizzo isn't the only restaurant Easter egg in Rock 'n' Roller Coaster. Back over in Gonzo's display, there's a painting of the Mona Lisa with Christmas lights around it. Now, right away, you might remember that mural of the Mona Lisa on the side of Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano. The Mona Lisa was always associated with Mama Melrose, but this painting actually came from inside the restaurant. It was an earlier version of the painting that was seen until around 2011, but I just love that Imagineers included her in Rock 'n' Roller Coaster. Number 3. Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker have turned the parking garage into the Muppet Labs automotive division. Now here you'll notice a couple different vehicles are on display, which just happen to be pieces of Muppet history. So in the Muppets Most Wanted, Jean-Pierre Napoleon drives around in his little Interpol car. This was a custom vehicle designed specifically for the film, and it's the exact same vehicle in the load area. It was stored in the Walt Disney Archives, so Imagineers painted it orange and shipped it off to Florida, where it's become one of the latest Muppet Lab inventions. It's even retained the original license plate, but as you can see, it's been labeled as test number 032114. When we turn that number into a date, it becomes March 21st, 2014, which is the release date of Muppets Most Wanted. Then towards the back of the garage, there's a very familiar Muppet vehicle, and of course I'm talking about the Muppet Mobile Lab. It's missing the Beaker and Bunsen Honeydew animatronics, but this is the actual vehicle that was used in the parks. The interactive show was probably most remembered for being at Epcot from 2016 to 2018, but Muppet Mobile Lab debuted almost a decade earlier. As a product of Disney's Living Character Initiative, the first playtest was conducted at Disney California Adventure back in February of 2007. Part of me always hoped that one day Muppet Mobile Lab would make its way back into the parks, but I think its fate is sealed. I mean, they could always build another one, but it's really cool that Muppet Mobile Lab still kinda lives on here at Rockin' Roller Coaster. Number 2. The Muppets have clearly made their mark on Rockin' Roller Coaster, and the ride is filled with many more tiny details that celebrate the Muppets. Outside, the giant guitar got a psychedelic paint job, but if you look down at the piano keys, one of them is gold to pay tribute to Dr. Teeth's gold tooth. In the pre-show, there are a bunch of colorful audio cables on either side of the soundboard, and since they're connector cables, it becomes the Rainbow Connection. It's a Kermit classic. Then, if you turn and look at the back wall in the alley, you'll see they're in the midst of painting a mural for Pop-Off Soda. Well, this calls back to the Muppets movie in 1979 when Fozzie drives up to the same billboard to hide from Doc Hopper. Once you're getting ready to board your limo, there's a chalkboard with some scientific Muppet equations, but there's also some music notes. When these notes are played, you get... That probably sounds very familiar because it is in fact the melody from the Muppet Show theme song. Then as you're exiting the unload station, on the right-hand side you'll find mops in a cage that depict each member of the Electric Mayhem. This here gives you a little taste of the Moppets, which is a very fitting Muppet pun.
Hey, you looking for the Electric Mayhem?
Yeah, have you seen them?
Seen them? They've been throwing me around all day.
Wow, where are they?
I did it.
Oh, I think those are mops.
No, I don't feel so bad for ducking their heads in the bucket.
Finally, by the cash desk, there's a display with tons of suitcases covered with stickers. Well, if you look up, the light blue suitcase actually has a sticker for Gonzo's Royal Flush. This used to be the name of the restrooms in Muppet Courtyard, which was based off Gonzo's Royal Flush from the Muppets film in 2011. Number 1. Without Jim Henson, we would not have the Muppets, so of course, Imagineers included a few Easter eggs to honor Jim. As you enter the alley, there are a couple motorcycles parked outside the Squeakeasy. You can see it's been around since 1936, which calls back to the year Jim Henson was born. Even on the side of the hot dog cart, there are a few parking violation slips, and it looks like the one in the back was issued by Jim Henson. Another one is issued by Frank Oz, who was the original voice and puppeteer behind Miss Piggy and Fozzie Bear. Then as you're exiting the Muppet Lab limo, if you take a look up, you'll find this portrait of Jim Henson as a Muppet looking down at everyone. This is one of those details that's super easy to miss, but you might just remember this exact portrait hanging in the rafters of the Muppet Vision pre-show room. It's such a special tribute to Jim Henson, and I'm so glad to see it show up here at Rockin' Roller Coaster. So, what's your favorite hidden secret or Easter egg from Rockin' Roller Coaster starring the Muppets? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below to start a conversation, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video.